What is return on investment, ROI, and how do I do it in marketing for a dental practice? Well, stay tuned, you're about to find out. Okay, you have probably been tuning in, if you haven't, you should, to all the tips I've been doing on dental marketing. Boy, there's a lot of them. There's a lot to know in dental marketing. But all of this equates to you spending money for your practice to get more new patients. Well, good on you for doing that. But you're spending this money, you also best be tracking that investment, and we call that ROI, return on investment. Return on investment is simply, I've invested both in the management fee for the Google Ads campaign I'm running of $1,000 or $2,000 a month, plus the budget going to that Google campaign, say $2,000 or $3,000. So I've got $5,000 a month I'm spending on this paid ads campaign online. Well, good on you for getting out there and doing some marketing and spending money to do so. That's the right thing to do today, and it's painful, but necessary. But just as necessary, now that you've got the courage and the budget, maybe you don't have the budget, but you somehow made it go right, you gotta make sure that you're tracking how is that doing. And tracking return on investment, well, what we're gonna talk about is A, how to do it, and B, what should it be? So let's take a look at first, how to do it. How do you track return on investment? Well, any marketing campaign, if it's a postcard, a Google ad, a referral campaign, you should be able to connect that to a landing page, which is like a one-page website. It's a single-page website specific around that campaign. So say you're doing a campaign for cosmetic dentistry, veneers, whitening, straightening, this sort of thing. Great. So you do an ad for cosmetic dentistry, not in love with your smile? Click here to find out how we can help. They click there. Rather than going to your website and seeing the 19,000 different things that you do, it takes that person to a single page where they have some before and after photos, they see some success stories, maybe even a testimonial video, and a little data about the solutions you have around cosmetic dentistry. They're not finding out about implants, they're not finding out about emergency wisdom teeth, root canal therapy. They are just there finding out about the one thing they clicked. Great, that landing page might have a telephone number connected to it. That telephone number is what's called a tracking number. It's a different telephone number than your main line. Of course, it forwards to your main line within milliseconds when it's called. But now you know that that number produced that call, and that number is connected to this campaign. So when the phone rings at the end of the day, end of the week, end of the month, you can see how many calls came in from our cosmetic dentistry ad. And you could do a similar thing with your postcard. You send out a postcard. Great, good for you. This is the best thing. Get lots of different channels of marketing going. You got a Google Ads campaign, you got a postcard, you got a referral campaign. Great. Each one of these campaigns can have a different telephone number, a different tracking number. And that tracking number, well, it's not a perfect science, right? Because the person might go to your landing page and say, that's great, and I'm going to check them out on Google, and they call your Google business profile telephone number, which is different than your original number on the cosmetic landing page. That happens, not a perfect science. But you get a round idea of what's happening at the end of the day, end of the week, end of the month. And you can see, well, this number is kicking. I mean, we are getting a ton of traffic from this. Typical call tracking also includes call recording, so you can listen. How did that phone call go? How did your receptionist do on that phone call? Is that getting the kind of patient type we want from the area we want geographically? So there's a lot that can be done to tracking these phone calls. Once you've done so, you can start to tally up. Hey, this campaign brought in this business. That campaign brought in that business. Look at that. So that's how to do it. That's how to track it. There's another thing, and we talk about all these points in our new patient workshop. Boy, 2 days of valuable information. It is a money-back guaranteed workshop. I strongly recommend it. It's up to you, of course, but we'll leave a link on going there. And that's where we describe how to do all these things and why and what's important to know. But in the new patient workshop, we talk about a new patient tracking call log. And we even show you how to keep that tracking log so that you can tally up very easily what campaign is bringing what patient and what did that result in when they came into the practice, right? So that's going to measure your return on investment. Good, so that's tracking your ROI, your return on investment. Now let's talk about the second point. How long to give a campaign before you say, that's not working? Well, a lot of people are very impulsive on the subject of marketing. They pay a provider, hey, I got his postcard out, and it's been 4 days and my phone's not ringing. Paid this provider to launch an implant, a dental implant funnel, right? Marketing funnel. I gave him a week and I'm not seeing a bunch of people showing up in my practice yet. Oh, I launched a Google Ads campaign or a Facebook and Instagram campaign. It's been 2 weeks. I don't know where are the patients, or it's been a month. Well, here's the truth. Any new campaign has to be grooved in. Okay, I'm going to tell you a few of the timelines you might want to think with. On a postcard, you should mail a postcard 3 times. Yes, it could be the same exact postcard to the same exact mailing list, done once a month for 3 months. After that, you're going to measure 6 weeks after the 3rd mailing to see how many patients have come in from that postcard. Tally that up. What did you earn from that? What did you spend on that campaign? Compare it. I'm going to tell you this, if you broke even, that's a great start. It's a great start. Now you just start fine-tuning your postcard. Why do I say, well, if you broke even, that's a great start? Well, because you got that patient, and if you successfully retain them, that patient is going to be the gift that keeps on giving for years to come. It's not just the initial visit that we are measuring the return on investment. Of course, that's what we're using initially as an index. It's the value that we receive from the patients who came in from that campaign. What do we spend on that campaign? Where do we sit? But your first goal is to break even. That's your first goal. Then fine-tune the campaign. See if we can get it working a little bit better. Same on a Google Ads campaign. Google Ads campaign, 2 to 3 months to get that dialed in. And by the 3rd month, great, we're breaking even, and now we lift it up even a little bit more, and we're going for what's a 3x multiple. So you spent $3,000 or $5,000 a month on this campaign, great. We're making $9,000 from that campaign. If we spend 3, that's a 3x multiple. Great if we can get that. Then we move that to a 5x multiple. We spend $3,000, we're making $15,000. Great. A 10x multiple, we spend 3, we made 30. That's fantastic, almost unheard of. We see it achieved, but I want to give you these things to think with, because it's not just that initial return that we're going to be counting on. We're going to be counting on retaining that patient. And the average patient, this is based off international studies, but certainly studies local to the US and Canada, patient that's successfully retained in a practice will spend on average $1,000 a year over a 10-year period. That's $10,000. So we're not just measuring their initial visit. That person may then go on to do a large case. They might want to get a smile makeover, right? And the person might just come and it's a once and done visit. So that's figured into that $1,000 per year average. Just want you to think of with some of these things, that's return on investment. It's a quick education. I hope the data I have given you has been helpful. If you have any questions about that, reach out to us. We are here for you. And if you want to get more tips like this, go ahead and go down there and click subscribe. And go ahead and enable all notifications to make sure you don't miss any of our valuable tips. Hope that one helps, and we'll see you on the next one.